How you doing? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Want to say good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Hey, want to say first off, thank you to everybody that's a part of Go RVing. My friend Courtney. If you haven't seen the commercial, it's got this beautiful woman who 8 years ago said she'd marry me, and these two beautiful little girls. The funniest part is how many people will write me on Twitter and say, where did they find that cute family for the commercial? So thank you to Go RVing for making my family seem so lovely that I am not, in fact, on their same level. I appreciate that. I think in football terms, you would say I have outkicked my coverage, so I'm okay with that. I grew up not knowing tons about RVing, except that my grandparents had a fifth wheel and were always in it, loved it. When I started with NASCAR 7 years ago, my job was to be the DJ at the speed stage and get crowds to come by and have fun. And so they would tell me, just go to the campground, come back in a couple hours. And I was hooked. It's amazing to see, and if you've never been to a NASCAR race, I hope you will go and see all of your products hard at work. It's an amazing group of people that I describe to people who've never been to a race before. We're like nomads for a party. Because I don't know if you know, the race is only a couple hours long, but people will show up on a Tuesday for a Sunday race. So again, I'm not saying they don't love racing, but what they love is the community that those RVs provide. And since I got hooked, I got creative, and since I've always been a big car guy, I'm going to try to restore my own. So I spend a lot of time online. I find a classic pull-behind trailer in somebody's backyard that had been there for 20 years, unmoved, which turns out not a great thing. Also, there were no pictures of it online, excuse me, which I later learned that's a real selling technique. If you know it's terrible, don't put pictures up. Also, I learned that not taking my wife to see that beforehand was a great move for me because it meant I got to get it home before she said, you're going to have to sell that. So I learned it's easy to get in over your head without the proper people. So I was ready to enlist everyone's help until I realized I travel with NASCAR and I also do the show Top Gear on the History Channel. I'm not sure what I'm thinking here, so I passed those great savings on to someone else. I used pictures this time, and I did clean up. So we have definitely been hooked. But the one thing I'll say is it was so cool to hear, first off, Secretary Salazar. And like so many of you guys, I love nature. I do. I don't want to sleep on it, though. I've got to be honest. There's just too many breakthroughs in what you guys do in the technology. So when Top Gear said we're going to go to Death Valley, we're going to spend a week, and you're going to try to get from basically outside of LA all the way to Las Vegas. I said, that sounds awesome. What are we sleeping in? And they said tents, and I said, let me rephrase that. What kind of vehicle are you going to get for us to sleep in? And they got us a lovely Class C that we stayed in all week long. And just so you know, if you've never been to Death Valley, it's 110 degrees there in May, and they refer to that as not hot yet. So I'm from Alabama and lived in Atlanta the rest of my life. That's really hot. And I don't believe this dry heat. No, if it's above 100, I'm just cooking in there. So big thanks to whoever rented that for us. The AC was cranked all week long, and I did fine. Big thanks to everybody who slept in tents outside who worked on the production crew. I didn't ask them how their trip was, but I'm sure it was great. So I'm really excited to be here. We're going to shoot the new commercial in a couple weeks out in California. Our 3-year-old and our now 1-year-old are very excited about it. I think they think that it's just a video yearbook. I don't think they know yet that people watch this besides us. So I think as they grow up, they're going to get excited to know how many people thought that they weren't my real family. So I'm excited today. I'm going to be at the Go RVing booth meeting people. If you guys want to come by, I'd love to shake hands, take some pictures. And thank you guys for what you do, because you really do make communities for people, whether you realize it or not. The kind of love that y'all create for people is a huge thing. Last night, trying to avoid the rain, my wife said, man, this would be the perfect time to have an RV. We don't have to go out and get beat up, get caught in game traffic, all of those things. We can have everything right here. So I know I'm not on the marketing PR side like these guys are, but when they're talking about it, it's not just that experience of one night. It's that dream of being able to have your space anytime and anywhere you want to go, and that's what got me. I realize I am 4 years under your target demographic, but I'm there. I'm hooked. But that's what it is. It's what you guys have laid the groundwork for in the past for all the people like me who go, man, I want that. I want to be able to just go and do that. And so thank you guys again for having me, and I can't wait to meet all you guys. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rutledge.
Thank you.